Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know how we do it over here. Yes, we do our shout outs first, and I am going to play that beautiful bean footage. All right, y'all. I want to give a quick shout out to my girl, the coolest one of them all, and that is Kat Harlan. Thank you, Kat, for coming through. Thank you for always supporting. And Robin Samuels, yes, Robin came through. Robin has been with me for a minute and she never fails to support. She is always in the comments. She is always supporting. And I am so grateful that she is a part of this tribe. So thank you, Robin. Thank you so much. And Charlotte Light Dark came through. Yes, Charlotte is quiet, but she is always supporting. Yes, she is always riding hard for the read, and I appreciate her so very much. And my girl 2383521E came through. Yes, she did. She is always coming through and is always supporting. So thank you to 3833521E. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and being such a loyal supporter. And my girl Tiger Mommy came through. Yes, Tiger Mommy is everything. And she knows she is everything. She is so smart and so kind and is always supporting the read. So thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And my girl Berkeley Melrose came through. Yes, Berkeley is so smart and is always in the comments dropping that knowledge. I'm telling you, she is so wise, and I am so lucky to have her as a part of this tribe. So thank you, Berkeley. Thank you for coming through, and thank you for being a part of this community. And Sharani Smith came through. Yes, she did. Sharani has been here a minute, but she is quiet. She is, but she is always supporting, and she is so sweet and so kind. And I am so grateful that she is a part of this community. We have great people, we do, that make up this tribe. And Sharani is one of those great people. So thank you, Sharani. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, it is a lot to talk about. It really is. Our favorite prince, he has been out and about. I know y'all have heard about it, but y'all know it doesn't matter. I'm still going to talk about it. Even though I am a little behind on that news, I am going to always take the opportunity to talk about my favorite prince and your favorite prince as well. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about how the Rangers and Kensington Palace continue to lose their minds about Meghan being nominated for an Emmy. Yes, they're losing their minds in two different ways, but losing their minds they are. And I was just thinking, what are they going to do when Meghan and Harry and Archwell Productions is nominated for an Academy Award? It is just going to be so delicious. It really is. But we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about something that I have been wanting to talk about for a while. But then when I thought about talking about it, I said, yeah, maybe I'm over my skis on this. Maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist. And that's one thing I don't want to do. I want to stay grounded in reality. But when you start putting the puzzle pieces together of what Kensington Palace is putting out there, it's starting to come together for me, that it is a bigger plan in play. Now, y'all tell me if I'm over my skis, if I'm being a conspiracy theorist, or have I really figured out what's going on here? The big plan. Y'all tell me what y'all think when we talk about it, and we are going to talk about it. Now, this is all my theory. This is me putting 2 plus 2 together, coming up with 4. And I just wanted to put it out there and see what y'all thought about it. So that's something else we're going to talk about. And of course, we're going to talk about other things as well. I want to talk about Hello Magazine and what they've been up to, their shenanigans, and pretty much getting called out on it. Their two-facedness is showing. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about, and y'all know what y'all need to do. Y'all need to lock in and understand. I'm not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. We're going to start with this. And this is a post from Chris Byron Smith. It says Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, attended Times 100 Sports Gala in NYC. The Duke was named one of the Times 100's most influential people in sports 2026 in the leader category. Yes, Harry is a leader now. He is, and he looks so good. He did. Now, I didn't say this the other week, but I was thinking it. When Harry was in the UK, he didn't look very well. He did. Now, did he perform? He did. Did he put a W on the board? He did. He pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat. But he didn't look good. He didn't. And now he's back to looking like Harry to me. Now, y'all tell me in the comments if y'all noticed that too, that he wasn't looking quite good. He wasn't. He looked stressed. He looked tired. He looked under pressure. He really did. But he never behaved like he was stressed or he was under pressure. He was Harry. He was absolutely terrific, but you could tell on his face. I could. And if you could too, put it, like I said, put it in the comments. But here he looks relaxed. He looks handsome. He looks like himself. And so I was happy to see that. And this squatty said Prince Harry walked the Time 100 Sports red carpet in New York today, July 16th. Now, like I said, I'm a little behind, but yes, look at that smile. That's the Harry I know. Yes, like I said, Harry, he looks so good, so handsome, so tan. He looked himself. He looked like he was home. He did. And not saying the UK is not his home, but you can go to your home and it's people there that makes you so stressed out. You can't relax. It's not like being home where you can relax. That family over there, those left behinds, they're making it very difficult for Harry to enjoy being home. So when he comes back to America, his second home, his present home, you can see it on his face. It's a whole different Harry, a whole different vibe. Now, like I said, am I reading too much into this? Y'all tell me in the comments, but this is the way I'm seeing it. And this squatty said the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, was honored last night at Times 100's most influential people in sports. Harry's recognition was for the work done through Invictus Games and the rehabilitation of veterans through sports, a star-studded event with many sports personalities in attendance. And Harry was taking pictures with everybody. Harry was a social butterfly. I'm telling you, he was taking pictures with all of the athletes, and he also was taking pictures with the people involved in time, the editors, the people who produced the show. Harry was getting his social networking on. Yes, Harry knows how to social network. And I think he maybe learned that from Meghan because Meghan is very good at social networking. And how do we know this? Y'all remember back when Harry and Meghan attended the Lion King's premiere and Harry was overheard talking to the president and CEO of Disney, Bob Iger? And he was telling Bob Iger what a great voice Meghan had and how she would be great at being a narrator of one of the nature films that Disney produced. Y'all remember that? And it ended up Meghan got that gig and she ended up being the narrator of that Disney documentary Elephants. Yes, one of my favorite documentaries from Disney about animals. And that right there is the perfect example of how to network. And Harry and Meghan does it like no one else. They do. And this is why they get so many opportunities. Their winning personality and their ability to sell their vision to someone who can make said vision into reality. What Harry did was a masterclass in how to network, how to create opportunities for yourself, you know? And those flying monkeys, they went crazy when they heard Harry networking like that, working for an opportunity for his wife because they're not used to that. Royals to them are people that you hand everything to. And looking back, we should have known that Harry and Meghan they were planning to leave because this is unusual. This was out of character for Harry. And Harry put the ball into play and Meghan ran it into the end zone, telling Bob Iger that she would love to narrate a documentary. Yeah, we should have known they were out of there then. But I digress. And this squatty said, this is the face of someone who has been hiding his wife from the rest of us. Yes, we miss Meghan. We do. But yes, Harry looks so handsome. And this squatty said Prince Harry was quizzed on England's World Cup heartbreak as he walked the red carpet from the Times 100 Sports Gala in New York City on Thursday night. Of course, the 41-year-old told Page Six he was in New York after being named among the 100 most influential people in sports 2026. He was recognized in the leaders category. He has said more about this loss than Bully Boy, who couldn't even be bothered to attend, as he has more important things to do, like go on his never-ending holidays. And that's exactly where him and future Queen Damizarok, that's exactly what they're doing. They're on holiday. It goes on to say, as he has more important things to do, like go on his never ending holidays, and the UK public thinks he is doing a good job as Prince of Wales. Really? When? Where? Yes, he is the president of the Football Association, is he not? And he never attended one match. He never attended one match. Now he'll go where he can cut up and cut the food to the matches in Turkey and to France and whatnot. but he could not be bothered to come to America to support the English team. Now, I saw the King of the Netherlands, I saw the King and Queen of Spain, so many dignitaries, so many other European royals attended the World Cup matches of their country's teams. But not Bully Boy, not Peggy. No, he was missing in action. And all I can say is, what a disgrace. And Hello Magazine, carrying water for Willie and Kitty just as if they're getting paid by the bucket for it. And I would not be surprised if they wasn't, but I digress on that point. They wrote an article about why Willie did not attend a single game for his own country's football team, which he is the patron of. No, didn't show up for any of them on holiday. But this is what Hello Magazine said. The real reason that Prince William missed all the England's World Cup games report. Now, I read this article, and basically what they're saying is the reason he didn't show up. He is known to be very rowdy and animated when he attends football matches. And because he would be on the world stage, he wouldn't be able to behave that way. And evidently, they want us to believe that he has no ability to control himself and act dignified at a football match. So that is the reason why he chose not to go. Now, I don't know who they think they are blowing smoke up their skirts, but anybody who has two brain cells know that this is nothing but a bunch of nonsense, because we have saw him at football matches with Kate, with George, and just by himself, and he behaved very dignified. He even handed out trophies, came on the field, did his bit as the patron. Yeah, so I don't understand why they think that we would believe something as ridiculous as this. This lie is so thin you can read through it. They absolutely are making an excuse for him because he never wanted to do it. It bumps up against his vacation because after Wimbledon, he is done. He is absolutely done, him and Kitty. And also, Harry was in the UK, so he did not want to leave the UK because he wanted to continue that stupid one sided competition with his brother. So, miss me with this. This is just absolutely ridiculous. But Hello Magazine is totally and completely in the bag for that family. And Willie, he wants the titles, he wants all the perks of being the Prince of Wales and the future King Rock, but he doesn't want to put in the work. And that is the kind of king he is going to be. He is going to be a king that doesn't focus on his kingdom. He is going to be looking across the pond. But I digress on that point. But yeah, this is the article that came out in Hello Magazine trying to give cover to a very, very lazy prince. I'm going to play y'all a little clip, and it's pretty much reinforcing what I said, that Willie doesn't want to do anything. And it is that little pipsqueak Jack Royston and that big head Matt Wilkerson. They're talking on some kind of panel. I don't even know what the show is or the panel, but they are putting out some real truths. At least Jack Royston is. That big head Matt Wilkerson, he wants to absolutely lick boots and pretend Willie is not who everybody see him to be. But yeah, I'm going to play this little clip and we'll talk on the other side.
One thing that it does give, like, there's a little bit of a warning sign in the weeds, is we've had a briefing very recently from to the Daily Mail along the lines that the Foreign Office can't get William to travel overseas, and that he's been abroad 8 times to either watch football or rugby, but they can't. He refused to go to Jimmy Carter's funeral. Charles had to force him to go to the Pope's funeral, and he can't completely forget duty.
Do we actually have a moment where we went, "Oh, Dad, I'm not going to the Pope's funeral. What am I going to wear?"
I disagree.
I can tell.
It's not a sense of duty. I mean, he went to meet Trump in Paris. He did go to the Pope.
But it can't just, duty is not doing the bits you want to do and refusing to do the bits you don't want to do.
Did you see big head Matt Wilkinson? He's with the scum, and the scum is totally in the bag for Willie. But I digress on that point. What Pipsqueak Jack Royston said is absolutely true. If you are going to have a sense of duty, you do the bits you don't enjoy as well as the bits that you enjoy. Every time I see Charles, he looks like he is absolutely miserable doing anything and everything that he is doing. But he's out there doing them. And he supposedly has performative cancer, and he outworks Willie and Kitty together combined. So yeah, he is going to be a nightmare, and they already can sense it, but they don't want to say it out loud. But Jack Royston had a moment of clarity and decided to say the quiet part out loud. Willie is not going to be a good king. He's not. And anybody who has been paying attention to Willie and Kitty know that they are going to be a disaster, both of them. But y'all, I got a little off track. I was talking about our favorite prince. Let me get back and get finished with what I wanted to say about him. This squatty right here says Meghan's husband is outside looking handsome, dapper, moisturized, and well-fed. Just check them sexy eyes, the glow, the smile. The man is positively radiating happiness. He is. I just said that earlier. He didn't look like this when he was in the UK. He didn't. Harry is back to his center. Yes, he is. He's back with his family, and he's back to his happy place. And Harry was just looking so full of love. He just seemed like he was just radiating this love kind of aura around him. And he seemed like he was so filled up with love, he even complimented the media. He said that you are the most polite set of photographers I have ever met in my life. That's what Harry said. And a lot of people were saying, a lot of Swatties were saying that Harry was throwing a shot at the British media. And that could be true because we all saw how they behaved when Harry was in the United Kingdom, standing in the road, just absolutely being annoying, shouting questions, trying to, get close to his car. But these media was just polite. They said, Mr., and he took the pictures, then left. And Harry complimented them. And if it was some shade thrown at the UK media, all I can say is if the shoe fits, they have to wear it. And we all know the shoe fits. Because that media over there is nothing but trash. And look at this. Prince Harry is looking good. And these are Getty images. I'm telling you, he looks so much better when he is on American soil. And this squatty that posted it said, Getty, you always come correct. Princess Diana is massaging Prince Harry's scalp at night with organic coconut oil. The hair strands look stronger than I swear, squatties, oh my God, y'all are too much. It says, unlike the other brother, she gave up on him a long time ago. Willie has about 3 hairs that he lets grow long and he combs them. He combs them over. If you think I'm lying, look at one of his pictures. But I digress. Now, some squatties are saying that Prince Harry looks like Prince Philip, and I tend to agree. He looks like Princess Diana, and he looks like a combination of Princess Diana and Prince Philip. This squatty said he has Diana's eye color and the Queen's nose, but everything else is Prince Philip, even the teeth and eyebrows. You are right. Look at their teeth. And with Prince Philip with that beard, they look so much alike. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all agree with us. But yeah, he looks a lot like Prince Philip. You know, that's why they said that Harry was the Queen's favorite grandson. Yeah, but being a favorite grandson does not trump being the favorite son, because the Queen absolutely did way more for that alleged pedo than she ever did for Harry. I mean, she wrote a letter saying that it was her desire for Harry to have security, but she made sure that Prince Andrew had it. So yeah, he was the favorite grandson, but Andrew was the favorite son, and she treated him as such. Look how she allowed Andrew to turn Buckingham Palace into Effingham Palace, having all those ladies of the night running through there, and also all of those pedos. J.E., one of the most infamous pedos in world history. But I digress. Yes, the squatties are talking about how good Harry looks. And this squatty said, Mr. Fox and Henry VIII reposted that and said, if you had told anyone in 2005 that Harry would turn out to be the hotter brother, they wouldn't have believed you. But I always thought Harry was cute. Now, Willie had his hotness. Now, he had his period where he was hot. But Harry had to grow into his looks. And when he did, he did. And Henry VIII come up under her post and said, and I chuckle because, hand to God, I think this actually bothers Willie. I do too. Y'all tell me in the comments, but I really think it bothers him that Harry has some hair left and that Harry looks better than him now, because he was always the hotter brother. And then Harry just had to grow into his looks. He was always cute now, but I'm just saying, he was cute. He wasn't handsome. And Harry grew into being handsome. He did. He transitioned from cute to handsome, and became a hottie. Willie transitioned from a hottie to a naughty. Yes, I mean a very naughty. And this other squatty came up under there and said, you're right. It infuriates him. Not only does Harry have all the swagger and sex appeal that William thinks he deserves because he was always the teen heartthrob out of the two, but he's also married to Meghan, who is drop dead gorgeous. And Kitty is absolutely Kitty is walking around with her face on the floor. Now, I'm not saying that Kitty was not pretty. She was pretty. In her youth, she was very pretty to me. Now, was she gorgeous? No, she was pretty. And Meghan is gorgeous, and it is a difference. When you're gorgeous, you have a sophistication about you. Kitty was pretty. When you are pretty, you're just pretty. When you're gorgeous, you have that sophistication, like I was saying, like Princess Grace. She was gorgeous. Queen Maximus, she is gorgeous. Queen Mary, she's gorgeous. Yeah, it's some women who are gorgeous and some women are just pretty. And Zanny Sussex did a repost, and the original post said, you can tell Prince Harry was out there to have some fun while also advocating for the Invictus Games, hashtag NY. And Zanny posted that and said Princess Diana knew her ginger was always destined for bigger things. Harry will have all the fun, Princess Diana. She did. She said Harry will have all the fun, and he is having it. And Willie is having a jealous conniption about it all. And this is the last post I'm going to read about Prince Harry and his adventures in New York. You know he'll be back in New York soon because he is going to be there for Climate Week. But I digress. It says, congratulations to Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, founder of the Invictus Games. His work for recovery of veterans and their families have global impact. Where's the lie? Yes, Harry is out here living his best life and driving Willie crazy on top of it. And what's not there to love? I'm telling you, when you can have a good time and drive your jealous brother crazy, what is there not to love? And look at this. I know I said that was my last post about Harry, but I have to add this. It looks like the podcast that Harry was on, of course, it blew up. The last time I looked, it was like 15 million views. But Chris Byron Smith posted that they have billboards up of Harry and Joe Maller, his podcast with Harry next to him. Yes. And Harry was on the podcast, and let me tell you, they are milking it. They have put up billboards about it. They have. And it says Prince Harry Invictus Games 2027 on more billboards at Manchester. What is that? Ardell and Leicester Square? Yes. Harry is up on the billboards. And the squatty that posted this said, I love how Harry's ginger face is popping up everywhere. May William never have a day of peace. If he sees one of these billboards, he's probably going to go home and cry and hold his stomach and roll around on those 400-year-old rugs, snatch some of those 200-year-old curtains out of the frames, and choke about one or two of the butlers. And maybe then, he will go to bed with his bottle of Jack Daniels and feel better the next morning. And we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about something that has bubbled to the surface. And it is so typical Kensington Palace. And I say that because it is parasitic. And that is why I say that it is absolutely in line with everything that Kensington Palace is about and what they always have to do to prop up those mediocre principles of theirs, Willie and Kitty. This squatty said yesterday Meghan was nominated for an Emmy. The Emmy has lost all credibility. Today, Prince William has been nominated for an Emmy. What a honor, mic drop. And what this squatty is talking about, we know that Meghan's show, With Love Meghan, was nominated for a daytime Emmy. Well, just so happened, the show that Willie was on and was interviewed on was nominated for an Emmy as well. And they are now saying that Willie is nominated for an Emmy. Which makes no sense. It's no way you can make sense out of that, because if that's the case, everybody that was on Meghan's show, they too are nominated for an Emmy. It makes no sense, but we all know the Rangers and Kensington Palace, they never make any sense. All they want to do is piggyback off of someone else's hard work. And in this case, it's Eugene Levy and his writing staff. Yes, because it is nominated for an Emmy for writing. And so if Willie is not credited as a writer on that show, then he is not nominated for an Emmy. But don't let rational thought and don't let reality have anything to do with your nonsense that you're going to spew on these internet streets. And that's exactly where Kensington Palace got this nonsense from the Derangers, because they are the ones that came up with it. And it is batshit crazy, but they are so desperate over there at Kensington Palace for a win. Harry and Meghan just keeps putting the points on the board that they are willing to do anything. And that includes to become a parasite and try to take credit for someone else's hard work. I mean, it is no shame for these people. And I have said it time and time again. Willie and his mannequin wife have no shame because they walk around parodying Willie's brother and his sister-in-law. I mean, even down to their mannerisms, their clothes, their activities. I mean, everything. They absolutely have no shame in copying them. So, of course, why wouldn't they parasite on the back of Eugene Levy? I mean, it's no shocker for me because this is who these people are. They never have an original thought, so they colonize. They are colonizers. How did Harry and Meghan spokesperson put it one time? I think she said, "Why let the truth get in the way of a good story?" And that right there is it in a nutshell, is it not? Because it's a good story, but it's not the truth. You cannot be nominated for an Emmy just because you were a guest on a Emmy nominated show. Your jealousy is showing. You should be embarrassed, but they're not embarrassed. I don't believe they have the embarrassment gene. No, it's no shame in their game. They absolutely don't care what it takes, what they need to do to try to get on top, somehow beat Harry and Meghan. And that will never happen because an original painting is always more valuable than the copy. And as you can see, that pie-faced Taz, she has jumped on this train that somehow William is nominated for an Emmy. The very same woman who was poo-pooing the Emmys when it was announced that Meghan was nominated for one. But since in their fevered minds, they cannot put 2 plus 2 together to equal 4, it's always 5 for them. They have come up with the idea that if you were on a show, any episode, that if that show is nominated for an Emmy in writing, pray say, you too are nominated for an Emmy. I cannot. And this squatty said, I just can't. The Derangers insisted that being an Emmy nominee meant nothing. And now look, the nomination is for Eugene Levy for outstanding writing. Eugene has already won numerous awards for his work. The Rangers think Willie has been nominated for being a guest. I'm telling you, they are not the sharpest tools in the drawer, are they? Well, you can't be if you continue to be a so-called fan for the Royals. And like I said, I put that in quotes. I say so-called fan because they really are not fans of the Royals. They are twisted fans of Harry and Meghan because it is all about Harry and Meghan 24/7, 365. I mean, every day. It doesn't matter what Willie and Kitty does. It is all about Harry and Meghan for them. And like this squatty said, you can't be nominated for an Emmy because you were a guest. But in their minds, in their fevered minds, it all makes sense. And the Derangers are not the only ones jumping on this ridiculous idea that somehow Willie is nominated for a Emmy. People magazine. Now they know it's a lie, but we all know that they want to continue to get, inside scoops from Kensington Palace and Willie and Kitty. So they humored them and said this: how Prince William and Meghan Markle are both included in the 2026 Emmy nominations, which is not true. Willie is not included. He just so happened to be a guest on a Emmy nominated show, not even for the episode he was on. This is a stretch to say that Willie has had anything to do with this nomination. This man, Eugene Levy, has been nominated before. This is not out of character. This is not out of the blue. This is not out of the ordinary. Willie did not elevate this show. This show already had a history of being an Emmy nominated show. This is something that has happened before because Eugene Levy is very good at what he does. He is funny, he's very entertaining, and he is an excellent writer. He has a really good show. And I believe that is the reason why he was chosen by Kensington Palace, because don't get it twisted, he did not pursue this interview with Willie. Willie and Kensington Palace pursued it with him. And how do we know? Because Eugene Levy said that they pursued it with him. Look what it says in Town and Country. Eugene Levy still wonders why Prince William wanted to be on The Reluctant Traveler. When he pulled up on a scooter, it was a very surreal kind of moment for me. Yes, they pursued this interview. And as you can see, this squatty that posted it said, no, William is not. Levy never understood why he wanted to be on the show. But I have a theory, and I'm going to talk about it a little later, but I believe it is a bigger plan at play here. And Eugene Levy is just a small part of a big plan. But yeah, Willie pursued this. And I want y'all to stick a pin in that Willie and Kensington Palace pursued this interview. Stick a pin in it because I believe it's a pattern starting to form. And GB News also got in on the action, saying that Willie somehow played a part in Eugene Levy's show being nominated for an Emmy. And this squatty went up under there and really posted the receipts. As you can see, this squatty said, honestly, this is an embarrassing reach for William. Meghan's show, which is named after her, she stars in and produces, has been nominated for an Emmy. Nowhere is William's name in the nomination under Eugene Levy's show. Receipt. And as you can see, here's the nominations. It says Outstanding Writer for a Nonfiction Program, The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy. And if you look down, the writers are David Riley, written by, and Christine Rose, written by. These are the people who are nominated for the Emmy. Not Willie. And it's also nominated for Outstanding Host Nonfiction Series or Special 2026, The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy. And as you can see, all the names, all the producers, the hosts, these are the people who are nominated. Willie's name is not on there. But yet and still, they're on the bullshites. Why? Because Willie and Kitty do nothing to create a accolade for themselves. They're always stealing from other people. I mean, colonizing other people's ideas and projects. They did it to Harry for years. I mean, Harry would come up with a good idea and they would put it under the umbrella of the Royal Foundation and then take the credit. Y'all notice that Willie and Kitty didn't come up with anything until Harry left because Harry was the idea man. Yes, he would come up with the ideas, he would do all the work, and they would show up to promote. Yes, they thought that they were the front men and Harry was the one to do all the work. And when he left, they were lost for a few years there. And then they came up with Earthflop and what was that other one? Her life's work, the early childhood nonsense. Yes, that she stole from a 10-year-old girl's TED Talk. That one. And I think she might have stole a lot of what she talks about from Pippa because her and Pippa's relationship has not been the same since she started this nonsense that she is somehow going to be a boss lady like Meghan. And we all know one is actually a boss lady and one just plays a boss lady on television. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, oh, for F's sakes, William begged to go on the show as a guest. Meghan was the creator and the star of her own show with fantastic guests and crew. A bit hypocritical when William kept turning his nose up at Hollywood. Yes, he used to turn his nose up at Hollywood, and now he's trying to get a foot in the door of Hollywood. This squatty said Eugene Levy and his writers must be baffled. The Reluctant Traveler wasn't nominated for one episode. It wasn't nominated for the episode Prince William invited himself on. The show was nominated as a whole. Then every single guest could have said that they have an Emmy nomination, but they wouldn't say that. They know it's the show, not them. Well, we all know when you don't have any accolades and you are jealous of your brother who have many accolades and your sister-in-law who is just absolutely a home run hitter and a woman who continuously outpaced the mannequin that you married, then you are willing to glom onto whatever you can glom onto to try to get any recognition that you can get. And that is what's going on with Willie. It says, and no other human on earth is as desperate as Prince William, and no other media is crass enough to lower themselves to do this type of gross bidding. The UK media, by grotesquely, crassly trying to take credit away from Eugene Levy and his writers just to compete with Meghan, who received an Emmy nomination for With Love Meghan, to give it to William, who forced his way. Yes, he invited himself on The Reluctant Travel. Proof that credit was always taken from Prince Harry to prop up Willie, and blame was always put on Harry to whitewash Willie. William is officially the most desperate and most pathetic man in history. He is pretty desperate and very pathetic because, yeah, his name is not even listed in the nomination. He was just a guest, just like many other guests that has been on this show. But yet and still, he showed his desperation. He showed how pathetic he is to actually glom onto this. And he is going to be the future king of the United Kingdom. I cannot wait because he is going to be a hot mess. Him and his future Queen Damazaroff. They are going to be a hot mess. I mean, get the popcorn, get the wine, because they are going to put on a show like no other. Ever since this interview with Eugene Levy, I have been saying, I think I was even saying it before then, that Willie and Kitty are going to move or be in the U.S. a lot after they ascend to the throne. And they are making preparations right now to do so. They want Harry and Meghan's life. That is why Willie said when he ascends to the throne that royal is going to be a little r and not a capital one. He wants a small r when it comes to royal. What does that mean? That means he wants to live his life like Harry and Meghan. He doesn't want to live a royal life. He wants to live a rich, wealthy life. He wants the perks of being the king of the United Kingdom, but he doesn't want to do the work. He wants to pursue this very strange, one sided competition with his brother that he cannot give up. And I just really started thinking about this thing and this whole nomination thing and how they are glomming onto that and Willie's and Kitty's behavior since Meghan married into that family. Let's look at the pattern here. Willie had what? 2 houses and a 4-story apartment. And Harry was living in Notcott. Remember, yes, Nottingham Cottage. I mean, a very, very small shack. When he married Meghan, Meghan had to put in couches. She did a lot of stuff to make it comfortable, to make it presentable. And after they were married, they were gifted Frogmore Cottage by the Queen. And Harry and Meghan was delighted by this because they really, really wanted to get away from Willie and Kitty. And from what we understood, William and Kate was very happy living in the city, in London. But when Harry and Meghan moved to Windsor, all of a sudden Windsor became very, very enticing for Willie and Kitty, to the point where they moved to Adelaide Cottage. And they came there and took over everything. A place where Willie and Kitty never showed an ounce of interest to move there until Harry and Meghan moved there. And from that point on, they start doing everything they could to move to Windsor. Harry and Meghan was designated to get Adelaide Cottage, a move-in ready property. They wouldn't have had to do anything. They didn't have to have any kind of renovations. But what happened? They got Frogmore Cottage, which was a rundown dump that was on the list for renovation. It had formerly been used as staff housing. So that's what Harry and Meghan got instead of Adelaide Cottage. Why? Because Willie and Kitty wanted Adelaide Cottage. They was just trying to figure out what lie they was going to come up with to sell the public on them having a fourth home. Yes, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. When they moved into Adelaide Cottage, they had a house in Scotland. They had Amber Hall, and they had apartment 4. And still they begrudged Harry and Meghan to have a move-in ready home of Adelaide Cottage. They wanted it because they wanted to follow Harry and Meghan. This is a pattern with them. Wherever Harry and Meghan go, they go. Whatever Harry and Meghan do, they do. It is a pattern. That is the reason why I said what I said about them coming to America, laying the groundwork to come to America, to have a home in America. And just remember what I said, whatever Harry and Meghan does, they do. Now, I'm going to put this up. Y'all remember when this happened? When news broke that Harry and Meghan had attended a Beyonce concert and all of the videos were coming out, it was big news. And E! News wrote about it, and it says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry spotted at Beyonce's Renaissance World Tour concert. It says Meghan Markle, her husband Prince Harry, and her mom Doria Ragland attended Beyonce's concert at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, September 1st. Put a pin in that date, please. And exactly 9 months later, William is attending a Taylor Swift concert. As you can see in People, it says Prince William celebrate birthday with George and Charlotte at Taylor Swift London concert. And if you look at the date, it's around 9 months after Meghan and Prince Harry attended the Beyonce concert. And who is equal to Beyonce in their career? Not many people, but Taylor Swift is right there. And Beyonce has the Beehive, and Taylor has who? The Swifties, known to be very faithful and vicious, just like the Beehive. And I really think that he is trying to make a play for the Swifties to get them to support him and Kitty. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I really think that he is making a play for the Swifties. He knows he needs a already built fandom, and he's trying to incorporate the Swifties. This is what they do. This is what Kensington Palace does. They are parasites. They are leeches, and they are latching on to Taylor and Travis for the Swifties. He wants to be popular in America, and he is trying to take a shortcut to get there by using the Swifties, by using a fandom that already exists that he is trying to co-opt. He is trying to leech off of Taylor and Travis, using them in order to gain the loyalty of the Swifties. Now, y'all tell me what y'all think. Am I over my skis? But I really believe that this is what these people are up to. They want a huge fandom, so when they do come to America, they'll already be popular and they'll already have a large and faithful following. And I know it sounds a little like a conspiracy theory, but I really feel if you look at the patterns, and the pattern is everywhere Harry and Meghan go, they try to come and take it over. Everything that Harry and Meghan do, they try to incorporate it and make it their own. And I really feel that that is what's going on here. Now, the very day before Taylor and Travis's wedding, they had a podcast. And guess who was on that podcast? It was Prince William. And how did he get on the podcast? The same way he got on that TV show, Reluctant Traveler, with Eugene Levy. Kensington Palace called Travis Kelce and his brother and told them that Prince William wanted to be on their podcast a day before Travis was going to marry Taylor Swift. Yes, William inserted himself into the whole situation because it was such a huge news story that Taylor Swift was marrying Travis Kelce. And all of a sudden, who pops up on their podcast the day before? Prince William. Look at this article from People. It says Prince William makes surprise appearance on Travis Kelce's podcast hour before his wedding to Taylor Swift. Y'all think that's a coinkydink? Do you? I don't think so. I think it is a bigger plan at play here. They are making a play for the Swifties. They are making a play for popularity here in America. And also globally, because Taylor is a global superstar. She is, just like Beyonce. She fills arenas around the world. And they know this. And they want to glom onto her and Travis to get in good graces with the Swifties so they can incorporate that fandom in order to boost their popularity, not only here in America, but globally. Yes, they have a plan in place. And they also want to be able to have that built-in fan base when they come over to America. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Am I over my skis on this? But I see patterns here. I really do. And Willie and Kitty, they absolutely behave in patterns. Everywhere that Harry goes, Willie wants to follow. And he wants to take over. And Kitty is over there at Forest Lodge cosplaying Megan on every level. I am willing to bet you that Forest Lodge is an absolute replica of Harry and Meghan's Montecito home. I am willing to bet you because Kitty copies Megan so hard in public. Can you imagine how hard she copies her in private? I'm just saying. And another reason why I feel he did this podcast, he wants Americans to get used to who he is. He wants to pretend like he's this regular guy. He is not going to be future King Dumb as a Rock. That's going to be a lowercase r. He wants to live a life like Harry. He is laying the groundwork for that. He is. He wants Americans to get more familiar with him so when he comes over here, people will know who he is. And he wants that fan base so when he gets here, he'll already be known and popular. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Is this too much of a conspiracy theory for you? Or do you see the patterns as well? Let me know in the comments because why is Willie doing American podcasts? Why is he doing documentaries that are being aired on American streamers? Why? Why is he so interested in America? At one point, he was coming to America so often he could have applied for his green card. He was even over there in the Hudson River trying to clean that up. Y'all remember that? And the Thames is right there in London needing cleaning up. But he was all the way over here in America. It's a reason. Like I said, y'all tell me in the comments if I'm over my skis. But I really believe, if you believe in patterns, Willie and Kitty, they're coming to America. All right, just a few more things I want to talk about. One is the movie Close Personal Friends. Megan has a small party, and y'all remember when that was announced? Well, it has officially wrapped, and this squatty is posting about it. They say, update, filming is done. It's officially in post-production with editing and sound mixing underway. We should expect to see it hit screens in a few months, possibly November or December. Can't wait to see Megan's camo on screen. Me either. I'm so excited. Think about Megan has not acted in 8 years, even though it's just a small little bit part. Can't wait to see her. I hope Megan does more acting. Yes, because she is so good at it. And y'all remember when Harry told Charles that he wanted to marry Meghan? Charles told Harry that he couldn't afford to provide for Meghan. Y'all remember that? And asked Harry if she was going to continue to act. Well, she's continuing now, and we love it. And this squatty posted about Vanessa's last day. Yes, that was Friday. And this squatty said, Vanessa's Channel 5 show is no more. Yes, I watched a little bit of her last show, and let me tell you, she was acting as if her dog had died. Not as a woman who has sit there and spewed bile and lies for the past, 2 years or a year and a half? I don't know how long that show went on. But yeah, she was so sad. It's just absolutely no fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it? No, that's an old saying we say here. Yes, when things turn around on you, all of a sudden things are very, very sad. Well, it was sad to watch her do nothing but bash Meghan and Harry and reinforce lies from that family. So, goodbye, Vanessa. As you can see, Nene Leakes is throwing up the two fingers and saying, bye, Biatchi. And the last thing I want to say is, please, if you have the opportunity, rewatch With Love, Meghan. Let's run the numbers up. Yes, our girl is nominated for an Emmy, and this is a way for us to support. I see a lot of squatties online saying that they're rewatching With Love, Meghan. I posted some of the promos over on my Patreon to get y'all excited about rewatching. So if you have Netflix, please rewatch With Love, Meghan. All right, y'all. Y'all know I always enjoy my time with you, and I will be back soon. And if you want to support the channel, so many ways to do that. Look in my bio. I have Zelle, I have PayPal, and I have Buy Me a Coffee. Also, look below and there will be the Super Thanks button. Now, if you're on your television, it should be right below. If you're on a PC, it's the three dots. Click that and you'll find it right there. And if you want to be a channel member and a part of the reading club, it should be a link below. And if you're on your television, just click my picture and click join. Also, if you want to not do anything with YouTube, you just absolutely don't want to be bothered with them, go on over to my Patreon page. Yes, it's patreon.com/The Royal Read. And I have a reading club over there where you can support the channel. And you also can join for free. If you just want to keep up with what your girl is posting over there, just join for free. And like I said, if you want to support over there on the same page, you can do that as well. Also, if you still have any hypes left from this week and you hadn't hyped your girl up this week, please hype the podcast up. It really, really helps the podcast to get out to new eyeballs. We're really starting to get new people in our tribe, which is so exciting. And it's all because of y'all hyping up the podcast. So if you have any hypes left, hype me up. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.